Okay, recognizing a quorum, I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Wareham Housing Authority from May 21st, 2014 at Redwood Village. I'd like to start by Pledge of Allegiance, ask everyone to turn off the electronic devices. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, all 5 members of the board are present. I'd like to start by making a few announcements. In the past month or so, we communicated with the Department of Communities and Housing and Development on request for information. They asked us, we sent copies of that communication to our state representative, Susan Williams Gifford, and Senator Mark Pacheco. I've been in contact with both offices. Representative Gifford has sent us a copy of a letter she sent to the Department of Community Housing and Development. Senator Pacheco has been in touch with Undersecretary Aaron Goldberg to make sure that they're aware of our needs in terms of our subsidy for the FY14 and try to understand the dilemma that relates to 2013 that is beyond our control, and his office will communicate back with us when they have something more to communicate. I asked them to see if they could arrange a meeting with myself and the administrator with the folks at the HCD. And the other thing I'd like to acknowledge that as we did before, we received some money from the Community Preservation Committee from the town with the help of the selectmen, but we did not receive positive feedback on our application to make peace, but we'll set up a meeting with them to find out how we can go about addressing our application next time so that we can get some funds, because I know there's sometimes there's difficulty. I know the American Legion has attempted to get some funds for the Boys and Girls State for $275 a person to go to a week at Stonehill College, room and board. So, you know, they haven't had any luck with them, although we have had luck with some others. And also make note that I've been in contact with the Community Preservation Committee. There is a June 2nd deadline for the special town meeting. If we could work together, Infrastructure Committee Administrator, come up with another application for some more funds. There's a grant cycle coming up.
For June 2nd?
I'm sorry, the deadline for the application is June 2nd for the special town meeting in the fall.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Wow.
What did I say?
Your special town meeting in June? Special town meeting in June. But that's okay, so the deadline is June 2nd.
I have my dates backwards.
Okay.
So we'll get another application together and hope we have the same amount of luck or better than we've had in the past.
Yep. They've asked us.
Yeah.
They said it would be better if we did a bigger project, like a roof or windows or something of that nature, which is okay. I mean, it's not controversial and it's very understanding.
Things that's qualified, right?
It's qualified. The other ones were qualified, but
less
controversial.
More clear.
Yeah.
It's not for steps to routing, it's for the structure of the
things that preserve or extend the life and maintain the life of the property, not ordinary maintenance. Extra. Okay, with that, move to the first item on the agenda is the minutes of April 30th, 2014, of which you have a copy.
Which I do not have a copy.
I didn't get a copy of the agenda either.
Really?
I emailed them. Did you? When? I did.
Oh boy.
I emailed
All right.
Monday.
The minutes, I didn't.
I can get them.
Minutes were not with it, and,
Okay.
Right, I can share my agenda.
Okay, great, thank you.
well, you know what,
I left mine at home.
no.
When you leave the house in the morning, you gotta take your stuff with you, you know?
I got too much
You
stuff
leave
to
last-
take.
Even if you left last night. Anybody need another copy? I have two now. Anyway, so take time to read those because
Okay. Thank you so much.
three pages.
3 pages of minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I can now. She's-
I don't know. No, I really don't know John's.
It doesn't work. It's a long story. Might as well just go.
I wonder if it's me, like I was listening to.
I just,
Remember talking
I
about
just-
this? The last meeting? I mean, it's in the minutes. Did we talk about it in the last meeting?
I think it was more in the middle of, I think Jackie did mention she was gonna go with
In the middle of the administrator's report?
somewhere in there, I think.
The new administrator's report.
what?
Be the hospital project.
Oh, yeah, this is administrator's report here, so all of that follows.
Oh, okay.
So I just don't remember, because I would have said, is it open to all of us? Can anybody go? You know, I would have had questions.
I only found
Okay,
'Cause I'm-
pay attention next time, you know?
I will.
I found out about it. Only put,
Well, I didn't because
had
he
it
had,
forward between
well,
the,
they didn't have a lot of time.
newsletter. And took it to you, but it's not actually like, but I didn't find out about it. I ought to pay my own
Okay.
way to go.
That's why.
Motion to accept? Is that in order?
Yes, accept the motion on the minutes of the meeting.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Lockwood, Mr. Santos seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-0-0. Thank you. Okay. Vicky, you do have the bills and for our signature already approved by yourself?
Yes.
All right, so I'll ask for a motion to authorize the signing of checks and documents that,
They've already been signed.
no, not signed, no, that have adequate supporting documentation and approval, and we'll sign them at the end of the meeting, like they do at the selectmen's meeting. But if anybody finds an item in there they want to discuss or hold or whatever, we'll do it, we'll do that. But
No, the warrant article does include, the warrant does include some of the past bills. And it also includes all of the payroll, which I don't have the supporting documents for. So do I bring my payroll book with me
Well-
so you guys can take a look at it?
Do you have the weekly timesheet that shows in and out and you
I don't
sign
have
that?
it here.
No, but I mean, you
Yeah,
can bring that
I
sheet
can bring
that
the
shows,
book.
the weekly sheet that shows you
Right.
reviewed their time
I put it in the book
in
each week,
attendance.
so
Okay,
I'll
well,
bring the book.
Because the selectmen meet on a weekly basis, they're signing the warrant ahead
Right.
of the bills being paid.
Correct.
right.
Well, maybe in our policies, we might be able to figure out a better
Figure out
way for
another
that.
I know, I have, right, exactly. I'd rather have the permission and then do it than do it
Right.
and then ask for permission. I mean, I know the payroll is a little bit different than a regular, although, so
One of the things we talked about in the policies is that recognizing there's routine bills in there like water, sewer, gas, electric, that the issue of two signatures by DHCD, two signatures don't make a quorum, even though those two people are signing checks between meetings, it doesn't mean they're approved, so we've, in the policies, I think we've set a standard that the routine payroll that's regular and recurring, that can be signed in between, in between board meetings, but the payroll is authorized and reviewed and approved by her, and it wouldn't be available if it wasn't. And also those other bills are regular routine, gas, electric, and telephone, water, sewer, whatever they are. There's not really much to do except approve them, so we do need to have maybe 3 signatures, 3 people go up and look at the bills before they're signed.
The way that the Board of Selectmen handled that would be that 3 members of the board would come in just to sign on a certain day, the warrant would be ready, and then nothing would be paid without the approval of the board.
At the meeting.
So, no, I'm saying in between meetings, if they didn't meet for a week,
they would have a
come in.
quorum.
The warrant
Okay.
would be available for signature, as long as 3 members of the
3.
board came in and
3 members,
signed it,
Oh.
then there was no issue.
right.
So, maybe we
It's
should
the
set
hospital, I'm sorry.
something like that, where we, 3 people, Jackie has it ready on a certain day of the week,
Right.
and 3 of us come in prior to the payments being made to,
To review and sign
right,
off.
to put
Okay,
our signature on it.
that's fine with me. 2 signatures on the check, 3 signatures on the voucher or the invoice,
Okay.
that's fine.
We
In
can
line
add
with that,
that.
we did
Okay,
deliver,
all right.
in line with that, we did deliver a letter to the Eastern Bank adding Jane and Donna on as signatories.
And do we need to go there and, that was my
she's-
question.
She's gonna give me a
She's
package.
gonna send us something?
She's gonna prepare a package that we'll pick up, and all 5 of us have to sign again. Because now they don't just add names, they do redo the whole thing every time there's a change.
Oh, okay.
Because of Patriot Acts and all this other stuff, So we'll get that, that'll be the protocol going forward. So with that, do you wanna, what do you wanna do in terms of the package that's here? You reviewed it, the payroll.
Yeah,
and
the payroll and payables.
Some of the payables we already approved, and
Yes.
some of the new ones going
Right.
forward. So So with that understanding, is that acceptable?
Wednesday is the day that everything is ready, so do we set a schedule of who comes so then I can call people? Or do you, how do you want me to handle that? Do you want me to call 3 people and whoever can will come in? Or do you want me to, do you want to assign a week to somebody that, because, I mean, vacations
Well,
and,
I'm around, so I can come on,
Okay.
at a
Yeah.
call when you say they're ready. Anybody that's working that can't, it's not around, I'd say that'd be the last resort in case
Right.
somebody's out of town or on vacation, but I'm around.
I'm
You're
around.
usually around, Bill's usually around.
I'm always around.
Yeah, yours.
Right.
So you can go in that order.
okay, all right.
Then when it gets time that you gotta mail,
If
especially
there-
the
somebody's on
payroll,
vacation,
if
just let
people
us
want their
know if
pay
it's in
on-
between.
People want their pay on Thursday, you need the signatures,
Right, when,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're going for 3. So we have a
Three.
quorum.
Three on the,
So it's-
on the warrant,
Payroll's in the warrant.
Yeah,
warrant, but 2 signatures for the checks.
yeah.
And if need be, I mean, if you have it ready on Tuesday,
Okay.
of the day, you know, then.
I'm trying to get there, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm still
Wednesday's
working
better.
out my time
Sure.
scheduling, but
But I
it's
can
getting
always
there.
go into work later.
Or you could
someone
come in
else isn't
in the
available.
morning, you can come in early Wednesday or late Thursday, whatever,
Right,
just give me a ring-a-ling-a-ling and I'll make sure that we're around, you know, usually I am.
So we get the 3 signatures.
Yeah.
I felt bad because I've gone in there late Wednesday or early Thursday, and that some of them are waiting for the check, or they're not in that day, and they come in just to get their check, so. All right, so with that, motion to approve the authorization to sign bills that have been approved by the administrator. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Donahue, seconded by Ms. Bronk. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Okay. Committee reports. You want to start with the Human Resource Committee, Mr. Santos?
Human Resource Committee, I think, if I may address this to the interviews that we're looking for to fulfill, I believe 1 or 2 maintenance
The maintenance
positions.
person,
I've done my
review,
review, and I think Bob has.
yeah.
We're looking for the rest of the boards, if you could do that as soon as possible. I think they had them, did you send them out? Yeah.
Yes.
If you could do that as soon as possible, so we can get it on the list.
Just give,
I wasn't sure what we were doing.
Okay.
but-
we were just giving Ms. Hickey the list, the one-page cover sheet that tells her, once she sees those names that the most people have asked to be interviewed, whether it's 5, 4, 3, then we won't interview any that doesn't have at least 3
Yeah, the
check
most points will be interviewed, we'll go from.
Just check marks,
Yeah.
yes or no.
Just check marks, it
Yeah,
should have just
that's
been
all.
a check, yeah,
Yes
yes
or
or
no
no.
interview.
Yep,
All right.
thank you.
Oh, this is all of it?
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
And then you provide us with copies of
Yep.
everybody's check mark
Everybody's
sheet.
rank,
And
yeah.
then we'll know how they tally up and,
Then we'll present them to the board, okay?
And then we'll arrange for interviews of how many you made up on the list.
Yeah, hopefully they go.
You got
Secondly, what we're trying to do is, we talked about it, and we would like to get the employees that work in maintenance the shirts, so they can look a little more preventable, come into work unified, and feel they're more connected to our housing authority. Bob went to Shirt Shack, and we got a price of at
We got some prices, there was a whole long
Yeah.
sleeve, short sleeve, collars, no collars, whatever.
But anyway, we have a
We
price
can look
from
at the other place down the street.
Shirt Shack.
Yeah, the other one.
What is your total, Bob? I don't know.
I don't have a total,
Okay.
I just got some preliminary
Get a
numbers
quote.
All
based
Okay,
based on them.
perfect.
Okay.
And then Jackie can follow up with, what's the other company in town there?
She's right next to.
Soft as a grape.
Soft
Soft
as
as a grape, and you can compare,
Yeah,
Will they do soft as a grape, will do
Yeah.
orders like that?
I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah, they will.
all right.
but then you can compare the quality,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for summertime, get
I'd
a
like
shirt
to,
for every day they work, they'll look presentable, residents. The residents will
Right.
know who's
Right. I
who's
think it's
workers and
important.
who's not workers.
Right.
So what we're looking for is an okay from the board to pursue this, discussion on it.
Yeah.
I don't think the cost will be that much,
No, the prices are
yeah,
reasonable.
but I think that it will give a better unifying,
I guess am confused in reading this so far. I see unit price over here of $9.
Yeah, she wrote
And then
that
I
up.
see 25, 16, 19, 18, 12, 14,
Yeah.
30,
So,
35.
T-shirts, screen, setup cost is $25. If you get minimum of 12 pieces, it's
then
$9.
Okay.
And then if you get, short sleeve,
Polos.
polos, that's a collared shirt, 16 to 19,
19, okay.
18.
Yeah.
If it's a digital, whatever that is, it's 12.
It's a one-time setup charge for, across all.
No, just
all
for screen.
formats?
just for the
Just for
screen.
screen. There's
Okay.
there's no setup on the others.
Because
Digital.
these are embroidered,
Yeah,
EMB, okay,
yeah.
got it.
And I don't know what HPO stands for or whatever that is. I don't know, but anyway, it's.
Put in pullover.
It's a start, yeah, hoodie.
Pull over.
No,
Good,
no
good,
hoodies,
good.
no hoodies. She put that down, but anyway, that's just a start with.
I just have a question.
Go ahead.
Did anybody price a uniform company to, because they'll come in and give you like five sets of each, or, and they,
Yeah,
you know.
we can do that too.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking,
Well, how many employees do we have? I don't know.
We have.
Excuse me, Donna.
We have two, we have one temporary employee,
How many will we have after the interview?
three.
3?
Yeah.
One
it
very
be-
part-time, and then a part-time, and then a
So
full-time.
depending on how many
Yeah.
days a week they work, they'll get that many
Yeah.
shirts. And we could price it,
Yeah.
price a
I'll put a
uniform
uniform
outfit
company,
too.
yeah.
I found them to be, you know, extremely reasonable, but maybe not. My other question is, do the employees that go in to do work in the units have IDs?
No, but we do, they are introduced to all of them via Henry, the tenant liaison, and they've now mainly all of them, we tell them who's coming over. You know,
Mr. Chair, I really would like to see IDs
I agree with you.
on them, a picture ID,
Yes.
because it makes the people feel safe.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I
They
think
have
that's
those
very
magnetic
Yeah.
ones or snap-ons or whatever, and we can
Or
get.
a lanyard around the.
Yeah,
Lanyard,
the thing around
well, lanyards
IDs
cover
in
work.
the in
Yeah,
the
you stick it
shirts.
in your shirt.
Okay.
And then we can insist that they come to work with the shirt.
And are all employees Cory checked?
Yes, yeah.
Was my question.
Okay, so motion to move forward on ordering, the administrator procuring shirts and IDs.
So moved.
Okay,
Second?
moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Would you second them?
No, that was Rudy second, Rudy was the second.
Should we put some sort of a spending limit on these
Oh,
shirts?
what?
A spending limit,
Oh, yeah.
like up to
Yeah.
$200. She's authorized to spend up to $200 for,
Okay,
Well,
let me,
Let her get some
Let's-
prices and come back.
next time, yeah,
And
let us
she'll
get
come
some,
back with
then we know, because if we end up going with the uniform company,
Yeah,
and they may be a little bit more upfront cost first time,
yeah.
We may
Okay, so
wanna
come
do
back-
that.
Come back with a price.
yeah.
Then we'll settle it all.
Because you're just looking at shirts right now, right?
Yeah. we're not
T-shirts,
gonna-
yeah.
T-shirts.
And we'll come up with a logo.
Well, I mean, whatever you guys decide.
Like a WHA, red, white, and blue or something, whatever colors. So what's the town's colors? Green, blue,
Blue.
Blue and
blue?
white,
Okay, so
blue,
blue
gold,
and
and
white.
white, yeah.
All right, so you,
I definitely think they need to have some sort of uniform.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely,
And
yeah.
an ID is just, you know,
Yeah,
that covers everyone.
Okay. Motion made and seconded, all discussion, all in favor?
Right?
Aye. So Ms. Hickey will get.
Sit down and vote.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she
Okay.
I'm sorry.
500, and the vote, the motion and the vote was for Ms. Hickey to proceed to get prices for shirts, IDs with logos. All right, so that concludes
That's-
the Human Resource Committee report, all right. Infrastructure Committee report, Mr. Lockwood.
Building 2 project, we've received the survey back from the surveyors. That has been forwarded to NALT. They are continuing to work on documentation. I don't have an ETA on delivery of their bid package at this point. The stoop project, I believe we put that in the central register yesterday. We are still, did we get anything from NALT this morning? Because I haven't had a chance to look.
No,
Okay. So we're still awaiting
For the specs.
the documents on that.
we're just getting the specs from NALT. We're not, and then the procurement portion we will be in charge of. But in DHCD's projects 25,000 and under, they have all of the documents set up for you. So
Right.
I've already,
Right.
you know, we've already done the first end. We're just waiting for them to give us the specs. And as soon as we have the specs, we can just add it to our bid docs. And then they'll be available May 28th for pickup per the,
Pick up of bids.
Yep. Pick up the bids per the advertisement in the central register. They're due back June 11th. We're not required to have a sealed bid, so we can have an open bid process, and we can actually go and solicit contractors that we know have an interest in that area. We're not bound to just them coming to us for information. Picking up bids. We can actually
We're not
solicit.
limited to those that pick
We're-
up bids.
right.
We can seek out additional.
We can seek out a contractor that we, per
Local.
DHCD's regulations, that have a specific, bent in that,
Expertise.
expertise in that area.
I think that's it for me at this point.
Okay, motion to accept the Infrastructure Committee report,
So moved.
Second.
moved by Ms. Donahue, seconded by Mr. Santos. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So
Aye.
carried. I think the next 3 items are all kind of wrapped up in one, but in terms of communication from DHCD, oh, I'm sorry, Administrator's report, I missed that, I had it checked off.
That's okay. Wait list, we're still receiving a large number of requests in our town. I think eventually, we need to really look at how many people, we will be looking at how many people are in our town to present it to the powers that be via the housing. Do you guys have,
Copies?
No, you don't.
We have no copies of your.
Administration report?
Which one? This one? or
This
last
new
one?
one.
Oh,
This
okay.
new one.
Is it just one page?
Yep, just one page.
Sorry, I was reading the old.
That's okay. And we have processed 36 applications from May 1st till the 21st. That's how many applications that have come in and were processed during that period.
36.
36, yep. Maintenance, we're still working on unit turnovers. E21 bathroom was completely finished and completely redone. When they went in there, the inspection, he knew that there were tiles that were, they were buckling out from the wall, and after removal, he found, the maintenance found that the wall was really compromised and needed to all come down. So, some of the tiles are not replaceable. They're old, they're 50-something, they're almost 50 years old. They're great retro tiles, so I've saved them. But we decided to go in a different direction for the walls. They needed the glassine backing with the heavy-duty bathroom moisture.
Resistant.
Yes.
Cement board.
Yes, thank you. So we finished that, and we are just the countertops waiting to be done and put in, and that's almost done. And then landscaping is in full swing. We've had Agawam is completely done as far as the major work, except for the tree cutting. And we have some trees that definitely need to come down in Agawam. And I did not put that in the report about the trees, so it was an afterthought, but I know that it has to be, we do. Over in Redwood, also, as you saw when you came in, the guys are working heavy duty to get cleaned up, brush cleaned, lopping of trees that have come up, from bird droppings and such, and Also, in between E and F buildings, there are piles and piles from years' worth of dumping of leaves and shrub and brush. But when the fire department was here over the couple times this winter, they did speak to the maintenance crew and said, that's really not good. It's almost like a fire issue, you know, so we had decided that after, it's a really hard to pitchfork it into our one thing. We're gonna, we have a trailer, we're gonna get some stuff on the sides of the trailer so we can actually push. We're gonna rent a John Deere and push the stuff off of it into our trailer. It takes a lot of manpower because when we go to the dump, we have to dump it all out too, and it's not easy on a tarp. It's just a lot of work. It has to be removed. There are animals living over there. We have a den of foxes and all these other animals, just like we found some wildlife living underneath the leaves and such, an agworm that hadn't been removed for over 2 years. So the tenants have told me. I don't know when the last time this stuff's been done. So that's where, and it's a lot of manpower. And this is where our temporary employees, we come in, we can hire them. We hired them for the snow removal and then also for landscaping as well.
Have we heard back from maintenance relative to your request for using the chipper?
They told us that we could, you know, we can bring the brushes that are over 1.5 inches thick up to them. So they don't have to, they won't bring a chipper down or we'll use it. They'll just get to it when they can get to it.
So they're cooperating. So they're cooperating with you.
They are cooperating with us,
Good,
yeah.
thank you. All right, so we can
Where
Thank them.
is that?
I'm
Up
sorry.
at Charge Pond Road?
Up in Charge Pond Road, yeah.
So we'd like to thank the town maintenance department for their cooperation. All right, go ahead, proceed.
Around the corners, they had been dumping in all of the edges of the property, or so to speak, the edges of the property in the wood. And it will become a hazard.
Right.
It's becoming a hazard, I think, that so much dumping, when you see it, you know, and you start looking at it, it prohibits, it's just not a little bit is one thing, but it's a lot. It needs to be, we're gonna remove it and take it up to the Charge Pond Road.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Why don't we have somebody come in and give us an estimate on what it would cost to haul it out of here and get it all done at once by a professional instead of using our laborers to do that and temporary people who are coming and going a little bit at a time. I mean, I know that our budget is limited,
Right.
but getting an estimate, we may be able to do better and it could all be gone at once.
Okay.
There are people who do that.
Okay, all right.
The other thing too is temporary people really have to be supervised regularly.
Right.
And it can take you twice as long, and the liability associated with them as well. I'm inclined to think, hey, yeah, get it done at once, you know, get a price at least.
No problem, I'll get a price. The tenants can do a test, and actually, a couple of our temporary guys work harder than our maintenance men, believe it or not. And I can attest to that. And I think the tenants will too.
Right, but they don't have the equipment,
No, they don't.
have the.
We don't
No,
have the
if-
equipment.
If you're talking to a company that does this, they're gonna have the
Right.
equipment, they're gonna have the men, they're gonna come in, it's gonna be done. Thank you very much, goodbye.
Right, I mean, for the trees, as far as the trees are concerned, let me just give you the one. An agawam, there's a dead tree that needs to come down, and it's just a big stump, but it's leaning over. There's also 3 pine trees behind building 1 that, in a storm,
Sure, we'll
behind
have them
building 2.
include all that in the
Oh,
estimate.
okay, all
Take
right.
the trees,
Yeah.
take the
Well,
brush.
those might be different subcontractors.
Right, but
Right.
there are
Like
people.
tree-
And there's some trees over here that definitely have to come down due to the sewage piping this winter when we had our sewage issue. The biggest thing was that, you know, we have asbestos pipes down there because they're that old, and they were just riddled with, you know, tree roots.
I think when the engineers or the architects come in and review the property for the jobs that they're gonna do, they suggested some of the trees come down because there were a problem with the roofs and the gutters, et cetera.
Okay.
If
So we'll-
anyone would like to take a view of the property, if you haven't since
Yeah.
you've been on the board, to take a ride around and see what she's talking about. There's piles of debris that's
Jackie,
been built up for years.
There's a guy in Sandwich, I think his name is Peter Gavoni.
Oh, yeah, I actually know him.
You know him?
Yeah.
He does all our tree removal.
Okay.
And the only reason he does it is he's so cheap and he's so good.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
it, tree removal?
Peter Gavoni,
Yeah,
Gavoni?
yeah, Peter Gavoni.
All right.
he'll come in and clear a whole complete lot for you for $1,500,
Wow, okay.
you know?
Net-
That's why I'm,
That's not cheap.
That too.
well, I'm saying,
The one-
if you're clearing a whole lot
You
of
mean
trees.
Relative
to
to-
a building lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 guys,
That's pretty
26
good.
hours.
Well, our guys would not touch the trees, ever.
Nor
That's
should
just
we.
beyond,
Yeah.
right,
They
I mean,
just
we're
do
talking
leaves
the
and-
landscaping, they
Insurance,
do the
Leaves
pine needle removal
leaves
and,
Leaves and brush.
yeah,
and
that,
branches.
you know, it's just
Okay.
that we have so much built up over time.
Oh, yeah, it's a backlog. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Maintenance done?
Yeah, vacant units, we have 2 at Redwood, 3 at Agawam. 2 at Agawam are just still waiting for, we're getting word from the new construction that we're going on, and 2 at Redwood are in unit turnover stage. Tenants accounts receivable as of 5/21, we have 4 tenants that are in serious arrears, but they're all 4 of them have been in touch with the office. Well, 1, we're definitely gonna do the notice to 2 of
Notice
them.
to quit.
Yeah, and then the other 3 are working on their past due balances.
Do you know how to do those?
Notice to quit, yes.
Notice to quits?
Yep. And, and out of that amount, 55,000 is hers alone. We have another amount, 1977, from 12 tenants that we're in the process of cleaning up, and I didn't put them in that accounts receivable total because I have not been able to review these. I've done about 20 of them so far. These are the last remaining ones. Their balances are slightly low. Some of them are $36, $54, $100. So I'm taking my time to make sure that if they paid, they can come to us. If it's clear that they didn't, we go to them. You know, we write them a letter, they come in, we talk to them. So we're working on that balance.
But the total for everything is $11.99.
That does not include that 1977.
Oh, so it's,
Yeah,
so it's 13.
13,
All right.
almost 14.
Could I just suggest in the future that you get the total of
Yeah.
13,000, and then you put down how many
Okay.
tenants involved, and then age it, 3 months, 6 months, 9,
Okay.
just so we know
Yeah,
what's
okay.
current and what's,
All right.
in even the vacant portion of it too.
Okay.
Current, go ahead.
I would like to see, and I gave her, Jackie, a copy of a vacancy report.
Yeah.
And there should be a delinquency report. I mean, the board should get one.
Right.
Sure.
This is good, don't get me wrong, but vacancy reports are so key to managing your development, the money you're losing, the potential money.
Right, yeah. and then
I wanna know how, cause you're sitting here telling me about the bathroom, replacing a wall and that, I'm saying, geez, why didn't they just throw a tub enclosure in there? That's a lot cheaper and a lot more efficient, you don't have to deal with tiles anymore.
Yeah.
So there's so many different,
Yeah.
avenues that I don't wanna see us losing money in.
Right,
And I think a vacancy report, Mr. Chairman,
right.
and a delinquency report is critical
Mm-hmm.
to provide the board with. That's,
Right.
and I'd like to make that,
Oh, yeah, that's a request.
Motion?
Okay.
can I make a motion
Motion
that we
by
receive that?
Ms. Bronk that we get a delinquency report, aged, vacancies, current, aged, etc. on a monthly basis.
Here's my problem, and I totally wholeheartedly agree.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the dilemma of our backlog. We have a waiting list that we're working on, and we have a time limit we're constantly sending out letters for people. So I was given, like, this was when I walked in, that's the list with all of these records on it. Now, I mean, reason stands that some of these people aren't around anymore, they found other places to live, and so
That's the
on
wait list.
caution, I've been diligently making sure we didn't leave anybody out. And so that's part of, my vacancy report. I'd rather err on the caution, I totally realize we're losing money, but at the same time, I mean, we're working from a system, the system used to be, unfortunately, the former executive director would walk in and say, give me a person that does this, this, and this, and she would choose from that pile. That's not how DHCD wants it done. First
not
come,
legal.
first serve,
It's not
and
legal,
that's how
is
it is. And so I can't, I'm a little bit, I wanted you to understand my caution.
I do understand, but I truly believe that these are key factors in managing any property.
Yep.
There's a vacancy
Yep.
report and a delinquency report.
Absolutely.
And your waiting list, it is what it is. You can work on that, and I just don't know how that we can manage a housing authority, be good managers without knowing.
Oh,
hey,
absolutely, yeah.
This
Yeah.
student's been
Yeah.
delinquent for 5 weeks.
Right.
It's not acceptable.
Right.
You've got to set a standard of how many days.
Right.
And
It's
then-
21 days.
There are standards
DHCD.
still, there are
It's
standards.
21 days.
We just gotta get
Right.
in sync with the
But we,
standard, no question, no doubt
exactly, I
about it.
mean.
And
it's-
I'm not
right,
trying to bust your chops by any means.
Right.
I'm just trying to make it easier for you.
Right.
Yeah, no, we fully understood, so we're
Yes.
gonna get a
The
delinquent, we're gonna get a,
DHCD's guidelines is a 21-day turnaround.
yeah, we're gonna get a total
right.
list of accounts receivable, how many, in the aging of them, in how,
Just fill up 14-day notices. and
how
send them
long
out.
delinquent they
Be
are,
surprised how quick their
and
money comes in.
how much of it is vacant,
Yep.
deceased, or moved out, and what's the likelihood of collecting, and then we can talk about getting a collection agency or whatever.
Yeah, do we have an attorney that works with the housing authority?
There are attorneys, and DHCD has attorneys they assigned to these things to help us out with evictions and so forth, if there's problems, yeah.
Yeah, because you can do the summary process. All they have to do is go to court with you.
Oh,
You can
absolutely,
do
yeah,
the
no, no,
14-day
no,
notice, and you do the
yeah,
summary
Yeah.
process.
Yep.
All right,
yep.
very good, so you got that motion moved, did we vote that?
Donna made the motion.
I made the motion. Did anybody second it?
Second, I did.
Seconded by Ms. Donahue. Any further discussion, all in favor for delinquency reports?
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
500.
Oh, I'm sorry, can I add one more thing?
Go ahead. On
This is the report that I have. okay?
TAI?
Tenants accounts receivable,
Yeah.
yeah. This is the report out of PHA, and I brought it up last week, that there were these people that were on this list that I wanted to write off. I mean, last meeting, just so you understand that. This is the accounts receivable list that I work with, because I believe, but there's a whole slew of people that were never removed from here when they should, or the rent roll was run, we're still working out the kinks and how to handle this. But there is about,
Well, let me see, last meeting you said there was $31,346 in PHA accounts receivable.
now there's 30,342.70.
Okay.
That's the stuff that's outside of,
But my question, that's a separate issue, because
Okay.
technically, on our balance sheet, I'm assuming that there's $13,000 in accounts receivable. That's one of the reasons I wanted Mr. Joy to come. On our balance sheet, what's on the
Correct.
balance sheet in terms of accounts receivable? 31,000, 13,000, or something else?
yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we get, that's one of the things we'll have our fee accountant to come in to address, because all we get.
Okay.
All right, so we'll,
All right,
all right. So that's something we deal with when we get a better handle on all
yep,
this.
the FY14 budget, we continue to contact DHCD and are currently waiting on their approval. Please see attached budget submitted by Tom.
Joy,
Joy.
that's this document here that we'll discuss later on another item on the agenda.
And then
Thank you.
training, Shmita Legislative Day
Smita.
was on May 2nd and in Wareham, and we met with Susan, where Williams, Senator Pacheco did not attend. Her comments were very supportive to the town of Wareham Housing Authority. So, subsidies, we have not received any new subsidies since 4/4/2000.
I'm sorry, can you just go over that SMETA again, because somehow I missed that conversation last month. It's in
Okay.
the minutes, but
Right,
it was May 2nd, there was a meeting, training meeting?
yeah, it
on
was,
that following
yep,
Friday?
yep, yes.
And it was for,
It was called the Legislative Day, where Southeastern Region legislators got together with their, with each authority who represents our legislatures.
Could you maybe explain what SMETA is?
Oh, it's Southeastern Massachusetts Executive Director Association.
okay, and so it was for the executive directors of the local housing authorities and/or board members? or-
Absolutely, yeah, anybody
And
can
Okay.
attend.
I went with
Yeah.
Jackie to the previous one, which dealt with, what was that?
The small projects under
small project
25,000,
awards
yeah.
documentation.
I guess it must have slipped by me
Well, I
last
missed-
meeting, because
I
I
missed it too.
certainly would have attended with you.
I just saw
Okay.
a newsletter, went to somebody else, and that's the only reason I saw it. It didn't come up at this meeting that I was at.
Well, let me just comment on that. For by and large, these subgroups are executive directors that get together on a monthly basis, or sometimes more frequently. There's CEDA, C-E-D-A. There's NASHIDA, North Shore Housing Executive Directors. Shadow, whatever that is,
Small
and
housing was,
SHMEDA, and there's WMEDA. So these are all these groups that get together, and I
Well, that's good, I'm only interested in the one that's,
yeah,
ones that
but
pertain
by and
to
large,
us.
it's mostly
There's 3 of
lunch
them.
and it's a meeting of them to network and whatever. It's not I would say, a productive thing unless they have a session that's of any use where you network with your representative, or they have a conference with dealing with maintenance or training. It's more of a, there's
Well,
there's
how do we
no
get the newsletters
board members.
regularly? How do the board members get the newsletters from these organizations? Because the former board got them and still gets them.
Well,
Oh,
I never got anything.
I don't even get a
I
newsletter.
never
All I
got
get is
anything.
an announcement
There's
of a
no
meeting,
newsletter.
and then they just send me that. I don't, we paid our dues to belong to this because they had asked us
Good, I mean,
to.
that's great, again, I'm
Yeah, I don't
going
get a
back to what I
newsletter.
usually
Maybe you should.
go back to.
Yeah,
Communication, when something is coming up and it could be of interest to all of the board, or when we get a communication from somebody, it should be disseminated to the board. And I think that, the most efficient and effective way possibly for you to do that, given your time limitations, would be for once a week to give us a 5-bullet, this happened this week and this is what I got for communications. Boom, hit the button and send it. Because we're only meeting once a month, and that's 30 days in between of all kinds of information and all kinds of correspondence and all kinds of things that are happening that we're not in any way, shape, or form in the loop. So it would be helpful if we could institute some sort of practice that would.
so someone got a SHMEDA bulletin?
I'm gonna show it to you,
I don't
because
think so.
I get it forwarded to me. I've had a few of them, and I'm trying to find it right now.
See, I got the Shadow, SHADO list here, and it's
Yeah.
all the directors in the surrounding towns. And then there's the
That's the
SHMEDA,
Small Housing Authority Directors
Southeastern
Organization.
Massachusetts, but it's all EDs, Executive Directors, Administrators. They tend to, their concept is to, board members are marginalized, and it's of directors, by directors, and for directors, and they operate in a way to manage without board members. That's why
Well, that's why we're wanting to be in the loop,
that's
so that
right,
they
yeah,
won't
so
be, we won't
we
be
need to,
operating
we
without
need
board
to,
members.
we'll start a Southeastern Massachusetts Housing Board Members Association. And we'll meet regularly,
Smubba.
the same day they meet at wherever they meet.
Friday afternoon, Tom.
In Taunton. And we'll have the same agenda.
Speaking of agendas, does anybody have an
That's really not
agenda?
my point.
Yeah, all right, so
Is that my
anyway,
point?
Excuse me.
That's not your
but
point.
I've
That's not my
never,
Wait,
point.
let me finish.
But
Let me
thank
just-
you, it's a
while
good
we're still
idea.
on, let me
I
just-
will be joining.
Donna, while you're on that,
Yeah.
I've never, ever seen anything.
I'm gonna get it for you, that's what I'm gonna
Okay,
do.
I know you might get something on the internet from Mass Narrow.
That's who it's from.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, but
that-
these are sub-organizations that aren't tied in. They're tied in, but they're sub. So what you see on Narrow is not what you're gonna see in SHMEDA, Shadow,
Gotcha, okay.
Sahita, and
Okay.
all that sort of stuff.
And I guess my point is, that's nice that they're all having meetings, and that's wonderful that they're all communicating with each other. I'm only interested in us communicating with each
Yeah.
other here
All
locally.
right.
And knowing what's
All right.
coming in for communication, what issues have come up during the week. What,
Point taken.
hopefully we could do something like that in the future.
Pursuant to that, Jackie, when is the next meeting and what's
Of
the
who, SHMEDA?
SHMEDA?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know when the next meeting is.
They
They send
meet-
you an email when they have the meeting, and I mean, if there's one
Oh, here
that's,
it is, Mass NAHRO newsletter.
Narrow, Massachusetts National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials.
Yes.
That's them. That's in Boston. But
Oh, well.
SHMEDA, Shadow, Cedar, and those are North Shore, South Shore, Central Mass, Eastern Mass, all those different subgroups meet So in the course of a month, they might meet 4 times, have lunches in the housing authority. I don't particularly think we should be spending all this money for directors to go to lunch and have all
I don't think
this
anybody's suggesting
stuff.
that we wanna do that. I just am suggesting that when something comes in that pertains to our local housing authority from DHCD, or if we wanna get ourselves on newsletters from other organizations, that's fine.
Right,
I'm
okay.
talking about right here in
WHA.
Yeah.
WHA, what's happening over the
Alright.
course of the week, and here's the little blurb that took
That's why you've
place.
got nothing. There isn't any. All right,
Yeah.
we get the point. All right, so
Okay.
we'll,
Thank you.
So you wanted, so the board is asking for an update weekly. Also, any news I got from these people to also forward them to you guys. Is that what you're asking?
At this point, I'm personally am not, because I know what you're working with in the time frame and the
Can't do
backlog.
That's
I'm
good
looking
thought.
for things that are pertinent. I'm not looking for gossip, rumors, or information that's just basic stuff
No,
about.
no, hold on, that's
I'm looking
not
for
where I'm going.
No, I'm looking for official,
Yeah, I'm-
useful information.
That's exactly what I'm looking
Right.
for, and I think that some of the newsletters, or that the Housing Authority was getting before, they offer insight to new board members, what the DHCD requires and what this requires, and I think that's all, that I'm just basically looking to see, hey, listen, what am I supposed to know as a board
Yeah.
member?
Well,
What am I supposed to know? And I'll do it on my own dime. I mean, I'm not
But
looking
there
for
is a
I'm
advice.
section,
just-
there is a section on DHCD for board members. They do
Okay.
have that manual, it's
That-
online,
Is it, okay.
it's the latest one they just brought out.
Right, and we have a
That's all.
copy of it, right? We have a copy of the latest manual. It came in a week before the last meeting. You told me that on the phone, Jackie?
Right, we do. I have
So-
looked for it, but it's
But
online.
somebody has it.
I
But
don't
you
have
can
it.
easily get it
I look
online.
forward to, I
Right,
asked it.
I'm
can't
totally
find it.
confused, folks. I'm on this board. I'm not, I think I need to be clear on what you want from our
Okay,
administrator.
we're talking,
Yeah, let me- yeah,
we're on the
please.
subject of communication.
Yeah, I understand that. But what is it that you really want to know, so our administrator can send out something that is clear, concise, and to the point? She deals with crises every day, and I'm not defending her, I'm saying the job.
They've been in there to see it, that's all.
Yeah, and I understand if there's a bulletin, a real bulletin about housing authorities, we should know about it, it should come to us. But I'm a little bit, what you're saying is good, but what I'm saying is her time is
I'm
is
talking
very
about
valuable.
something that doesn't take more than
Well-
half an hour to do. 5 bullets. This
Well,
happened this week.
okay,
This is what you need to know, board member. Thank you very much.
Well, let's
Administrator.
be very concise in what you want. I mean, are you talking about turnovers? We do it once a month? Are you talking about, and I'm not trying to be defensive here or whatever, but I've been in that office and I've seen what goes on in there. What is it that you really want? I mean,
I can tell you what I want.
that's all.
Okay, I want to know what my job is.
Well, that can be
And you
done.
know something? I got elected by the people to help everyone out, and I wanna help her out, but I don't wanna go anywhere that I'm not supposed to go either. I wanna be a good board member and know what I need to do.
Well, I think that
And then-
goes
well,
without
no,
saying.
no, no,
That does, it
Yeah, but let me
does.
finish,
Finish.
And part of being a good, strong manager is knowing what your vacancies are, how long they've been vacant, how much it costs you to turn over a unit, and managing your delinquencies. That's just basic 101. Nobody's looking, I'm not looking for answers, Rudy, I'm not looking for answers yesterday. I'm looking to help her. I'm trying to make her job easier, because there's a much easier way to go.
And I'm not questioning the fact that we all are trying to make her job easier. I'm just saying, maybe my brain isn't as bright as you guys, but I'm not trying to
No.
be funny or
So-
facetious here.
No.
You are.
But I'm not quite sure exactly what, that's nothing to do with her.
I
Bob,
think,
let
I
me
mean,
finish.
like a weekly update, I mean,
Please let me finish,
okay.
Yeah. please.
No problem.
Okay. Now you made me lose my train of thought. What you're saying, Donna, is very precisely. I need to know more also. But does it come from Jackie? I don't think so. From at this point, maybe another year or 2 or 3.
No.
They come from Bob or somewhere from DCHD that'll say, these are your parameters. I mean, we got it in written form, we can do workshops. I'd like to see a workshop on what I do, what I should be doing, and how best to do that, how to make this housing authority one of the best, and in terms of reporting, getting the consistency of how long is the turnover, what it costs for a turnover. Do you do best, like hiring a landscaper rather than the laborers doing it? I mean, them are the things that I want to see, and you made out a good point. Hire it. Let our workers do whatever we gotta do. I mean, the hiring out for contract. But I'm still learning, and I'm with you, Don. I want to make sure this is the best housing authority in the
So I can give you the website link.
Yeah, however
I
you do
I'll
it.
give you the
think
website link,
if I'm-
so you guys can go on there and.
Exactly, we're not looking for you to do it.
And I
all.
think
No, no,
that-
no.
I think that the
I think there's two
aging
different things
report-
being asked here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as far as the board is
Yeah.
concerned and board's
One at a
rules and
time, one at a
regulations,
time.
I can give you the website link and you guys can go read it. And it's easier to bring up, you
I
know.
just want to help you. That's all I'm looking to
No,
do, is to
I-
help you out. And
No.
I don't want to frustrate you, and I certainly don't want to frustrate anybody else
No,
here.
I'm not frustrated.
I just want to see it be the best housing authority around too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody-
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Let me just say this. I came in here in April of 13. I had come to a couple of meetings in April, May, June of 12. In the 6 months between April of 13 and December of 13, or 9 months, there was never anything provided in terms of an agenda. There was 1 or 2 items on there, sign bills, attendance, and go home. Nothing was presented, there was no packages or anything. So we're in a difficult situation. New staff, short staff, we're not enough. What we're trying to do with the staff is what you have for staff that's a well-run operating system with 104 units. Right now, there's a lot to catch up with, there's a lot of remedy, and then go forward. So I'm frustrated as you are. I would like to have seen this thing up and running in 6 months, because I'm impatient and I like to see things happen, and that's the kind of person I am.
But let me,
in the
okay,
meantime,
yeah.
I think if we can, I think that the delinquency report occupancy list, vacant turnover is critical, that we all get that. If there's other particular things that we think we need in terms of oversight, monitoring, and management, we should make up a list and we'll get it to her, and so that she can do that. What is once every 2 weeks in the interim?
Even to start, once
Yeah.
every 2 weeks is
Good,
something.
yeah.
The
Again,
vacancy unit and the delinquency thing, that's
Yeah.
easy to
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a
that's a minor-
one-time effort, and it doesn't
No,
change
actually,
very
and
often.
it doesn't, right.
Once it's up, you
Right.
just keep
Every-
changing the numbers.
I got no trouble with that.
every
As
week
far
you
as,
just fill out, I'm
Right.
gonna get you a copy of a sheet, and you just
good,
put it
thank
in.
you.
Yeah.
Then I'll answer those questions and all the
and
board will
again-
get that. That would be good.
Again, there are 2, 4, 5 people on this board that has certain areas of expertise. I mean, you got a really good board here,
Right.
and I want you to feel comfortable that, I'm not picking, I just want to help.
No, look, I do.
Okay.
I want to present in the best way possible exactly, and these people have come in during the week and they want to talk, these guys, and we have, that's why when I started talking about our wait list, that's a huge problem. It isn't just the people that come through the door and we process their applications. The housing situation's a huge issue. We just don't have enough in our town of Wareham. And we need to get all of these groups, I mean, I know this is long-term, the CETA, CPC, and the Housing Affordable Trust to get together with people out there to really come up with an idea of exactly how, so everybody really truly understands how bad it is in our Wareham. Because, I mean, from the minute I opened my doors on Monday, the first lady that walked in was somebody that hadn't left her house for 15 years. And you just can't say to her, okay, fill out the application and leave. I shop, I talk with them, I get them the, I mean, her house was, from what they had told me, I gave them a number for legal counsel, I gave them other opportunities, and they're not in our town. So I couldn't just shoo her away, but I didn't want to just leave her with nothing anyways. Although they can put in an application with us, they can go to the town that they're in, one of our surrounding towns, and she can be local preference with them. But it's very hard, and we have had the income qualifying of these people for Depot and for our MRVPs yesterday, just so you can understand, because this is only Wednesday. A client who was in the process of recertifying came in, and they speak another language, and they're working really hard to speak English. They have a landlord, who I found out yesterday was charging them $250 more a month on the side. Like, this is what you're gonna pay me in a check, and this is what I want over here. And they were trying to tell me, because they kept on saying, how much is this gonna cost? I said, it's not gonna cost you anything, this is what you pay. And they were like, no, that's not how we did it in the past. We did this and we did this. I said, what do you mean? The woman had one rent check previous that had this, one check that had the correct amount. And then there was another check that they were paying in. That's not how it was supposed to work.
Right.
So I had to stop, find out, call DHCD, get on the horn with the guy and straighten it out. And it's still not straightened out. But it's just a time thing. Those are the things that are unpredictable, because there isn't a day, and I think every one of the board members, even Bill Lockwood, has been in there. Bill, Rudy, and Bob have been in there at times, and even anybody that's been in there knows that door never stops and the phone is always ringing.
May I say something? One thing.
Go ahead.
That's all.
Part of my background has been time management. And I happened to spend some time in the housing authority. I never told Jackie this, or Bob. I was there for 3-4 hours. And I went home and wrote in my journal how many times the interruption was in that office on a crisis basis. God bless you. We deal on crisis basis every day, and I know.
Yeah.
And I'm not defending or hailing Caesar. I'm just saying that's the way it is. Whether it be you, me, or whatever, that's the way it is. And
If you're renting 10,000 units or you're renting 5 units, it's like that in the housing business.
Yeah.
It just is.
It's just like
It just
that.
is.
You've always
I
done
know.
it. It's every day. It's
Right.
every day.
Right, absolutely. If there's a standard form you want me to answer questions, my only concern is that come Friday afternoon, and I've got these, sometimes I call it an explosion. I mean, there'll be like a 4-hour period where the phone's ringing, somebody's at the door, and, there's a maintenance issue, or an elderly woman needs me to speak to them out there. Can you please come take a look at this? And that's where, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, and then it's 4 o'clock, and I'm like, please, I gotta go home. And I won't get that report to you. But if it's a standard question that you want me to fill out and do each week, vacancies, delinquencies, or any, unexpected, if Narrow's thing comes in, because I do believe now, I do remember seeing a Narrow monthly or quarterly newsletter, I think they do, then I'll get it to everybody. I'll just email in our standard board list so everybody can see it.
Anytime,
And it has the links to different things, I think, in it.
anytime Narrow sends out a news flash, it's something that's urgent, where they usually want the authority, the board, to reach out to the legislator because the budget's up and there's
Okay.
something that's gonna affect us as a community or us as a collective group of housing authorities. Those are the kind of things the news flashes send us.
Should go to that, everybody.
And I'll
Okay,
prepare a
yep.
letter to the representative, because they're looking for support from the field, not just coming out of Mass Narrow. The more
Yeah.
voices they get coming in.
Sure, and the first time you send us one, we can sign up ourselves, and then they'll send it directly to us, and you won't even have to stop and
Right.
send it
Okay,
to
all right,
anybody.
terrific.
That's the kind of thing
Okay.
that I'm looking for.
Oh, all right, that's fine.
As well as, I
Okay.
think the link to that handbook would be very helpful
Okay,
for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
And then, when I say, give me like 5 lines, what were the most important things that happened this
Right.
week? When you're doing it, this is how I do it for my boss.
Yeah.
If it happens, I make a note. I have it already set up in my computer.
Yes.
Notes for
Yeah.
my boss, and then I
Yeah.
type in,
Well, what
this
I'll
happened,
do-
this happened, this happened, this happened,
Right.
then it's ready to go. Boom.
We'll come
It's
up with
not-
We'll come up with something
It's a very
material,
simple-
material significant, out of the ordinary kind of things.
Exactly, not like
All right.
500 people came in.
What I can do- no, no, no,
I don't
right,
wanna
no,
know
no,
that. I don't
I
wanna know
know.
how 500 people
What I
called.
can do
Alright.
too is what
I
I
know
do with
that
my,
already.
right, what I do with
You're
my
telling me that.
tenants,
We can move on.
I have a-
Let's go.
okay.
Let's go.
okay. For my tenants, I just put together a little tenant list, communication list, so I'll just do that. with
Let's
the board,
skip
too.
subsidies, we'll bring it up when we get to the budget and the
Okay,
subsidies
the
and
grant
all that
request,
sort of thing.
you already know about the 80 make case.
Yeah,
And I told you about the municipal maintenance, we were able to bring our 1.5-inch brush and larger to the municipal maintenance shed for disposal. And one really good news, in-star lighting, we were in touch with David Kona, and he is meeting me here, and they are going to redo the parking lot lighting and outdoor lighting on the buildings in Redwood, under the Efficiency Lighting Program Act that they have money, so we're in touch with him right now, working on the final plans. And then, okay, that's it.
okay, move acceptance of the administrator's report.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Bronx, seconded by Ms. Donahue. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Okay, communications from DHCD. We haven't received any since the last communication that went out before the last meeting. However, as I said, we have heard from Senator Pacheco's office after I contacted them. They're working on with Mr. Goldberg, secretary, to try to expedite a communication and meeting where we can resolve the issue, which again pertains to the FY13 budget that the prior board and the prior fee accountant prepared a budget, submitted it, but didn't have all the 5 board members' certifications that it was signed under penalties of perjury, etc. Although it was voted at a board meeting by a majority of the board, at a meeting where there was a quorum. For the year ending June 30th, 2013, they did receive a subsidy, even though they were in violation of their so-called failure to certify. So then when we submitted our FY14 budget, which was signed by all the existing members under penalties of pains and perjury, and then we got the second letter from DHCD asking for an update in the status of the corrective action plan, and we sent all that in. Jackie got what she thought was a good news phone call saying, wow, you people are wonderful, you get 2 lollipops for being the most improved housing authority, and then 2 days later they got a call saying, oops, I forgot, we still haven't got the 2013 budget, so you're no longer super duper, and we still holding your subsidy. So that's about sum and substance of that issue. So it needs to be resolved, because there's no way we can do anything with 13. They have the actuals for 13. So just because they haven't been able to put in the budget for 13 in their computer, which they could put in, but they can't say absence of signatures, waive the absence or something, they're still playing this bureaucratic game. So that's.
So Bob, may I, so the 3 pieces of correspondence that you sent at the end of April,
Yeah,
on April 29th,
Right.
to DCHD, we have no response in
Nothing.
writing from them?
Nothing.
Nothing.
and to be honest with you, I don't expect one for months. Just like the one we got in April is a response to the letter we sent in October. They give us a quick summary of an audit review here in August, I think, of 13. They sent us a letter in September. They said they wanted a response by October 15th. We sent them a response October 17th, in saying this is what we've done, this is what we're working on. So from October to end of March, we heard nothing. Then we got that report and they said they wanted an answer by April 30th. So now we sent them something by April 30th, and I don't expect, to be honest with you, to really hear from them, because now they're winding down. They'll be looking for jobs, the election year is up and all that stuff, and then they'll leave it for somebody else, just like we got the letter from Sarah Glassman, who was cleaning up the mess that was left over from Lisbeth Hire, who left. So that's what we're dealing with, and unfortunately, we're suffering, our residents are suffering. Hold on. Unfortunately, we're suffering, the residents are suffering, because we need that $75,000 subsidy through June 30th, because if we don't, we're gonna be saying to the town, or the N-Star, or energy companies, we're gonna be not paying you because of that. It's a simple bureaucratic check mark that they need to do. And it's now May, and I'd like to be working on the FY15 budget. Instead of doing that next December, when DHCD sends out guidelines for a budget in September.
So, explain to me, please, if you don't mind, because I saw this other email that said we complied with what their requirements were and they were very happy, and that had nothing to do with the subsidies.
No, that's, the subsidy is, one of the
Well,
pieces in that letter was they wanted certifications on FY13.
I understand that.
So we couldn't, we did everything, but we can't do anything with that. So they gave us kudos for being in compliance with the heating, and
We-
utilities, and all that kind of bureaucratic information they want to know, and I don't know what they do with it when they get it, but they just want all this
Yeah.
information.
Well, I had asked Jackie earlier before the meeting started if she had copies of whatever it was that they were requiring so that the board could learn what it is that they're asking for.
Right.
Again, goes back to Don's point of, we want to know. Sounds good, it all sounded good in the email, but I don't even know what you filled out or what you did or why they were so happy with it.
There
or,
are three, well, let me just
if
give
it was
you.
gonna get us our money, that was my
Yeah.
bottom
Right.
line. I
Yeah.
wanted to know if it was gonna
Right.
get us our money.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
they had sent me an email, and they said, we're missing these three things. Well, first of all, the vacancy report and the utility reports have not been done since fiscal year 11. I told them that I could only go back a certain amount of time. We only have the records for a certain amount of time and be responsible to them for a certain amount of time. So I did,
Go around, thank you.
and, so I gathered all of the information and got the stuff that was not filled in. Because when Kate Luna was here, she did do the energy reporting and the vacancy reporting for that quarter that she was here.
Okay, so it was just this quarter, from
No, it was,
January to
no,
March?
it was, they haven't had it, some of them haven't been done for 3 years. But there was absolutely no way that I could go back 3 fiscal
Right.
years to get the
That would be
stuff. So
ridiculous.
I was able to go back to January 1st of 2013 and then go forward. So from January 1st of 2014 to this time, I did every month's energy reporting plus all of the quarterly vacancy reportings. They have a quarterly vacancy reporting and they have a monthly energy reporting. And there's a quarterly budget reporting. Tom Joy, the accountant, does the quarterly budget reportings, but when I went on there to pull them off for you folks, because there is no budget in there, it's just the numbers that are actual numbers, so I didn't know if, I said, Tom, is it even worth it to give it to you folks, because you don't have anything to compare it to, it's just the actual numbers.
Right,
So-
so we have the budget that you put together, that we have a copy of that.
Correct.
So what you're saying is that those budget figures that are on that budget that you gave us already are just not in the system.
Correct.
So we could put the budget numbers in and then see where we're going with the actuals for that. And is that what he did?
That's what he
Is that what
did.
this is?
That's-
Well, the first
That's
line
the
is the total
standard-
budget.
That's the standard DHCD line item budget for all housing authorities for the operating budget.
Yeah.
I would have liked, if he was here, to have this balance sheet too, so we could see where we stand with
Right,
the operating
balance sheet
reserve.
would have been good. Oh, he couldn't come?
He had
he's on
jury duty.
We should plan our next meeting around him.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, so you do have, Jackie provided you the year-to-date, 9 months ending March 31st, 2014, current to actual. And unfortunately, that doesn't tell you a lot.
No.
And I reached into my bag and brought the FY14 budget that we submitted. I don't know if you were able to get one of those, but the balance sheet that accompanied this shows a operating reserve, which is like your fund balance, at the end of FY13 to be $41,579. And at the end of FY14, we budgeted a deficit or a loss of $14,674, which I think it shows on the first column in the actual budget. that being the case, we projected our operating reserve for FY '14 to be down to 26,905. And unfortunately, if we have a 26,905 operating reserve, it altogether shows why we need the subsidy, because if we don't get the subsidy and we have that deficit, we're gonna be in a deep, deep deficit and basically insolvent at FY '14. I do expect them to give us the money. I'd like to know how they can give it to us at the end of June for the year that just expired, and how they can give you money in the next fiscal year, all that sort of stuff. But it's just a pathetic, disappointing system that DHCD has in terms of financial oversight and management. And again, that review they did in August of FY '13 only touched the surface, and that's why Jackie was confronted with so much worse of a situation. They didn't realize when they were in here that we had 1,400 applications that weren't properly processed and so forth. But that's again why I wish the fee account was here, but we'll get them again for the next meeting, and so we can go through the process and compare the FY '14 budget with these budget to actual. And I don't know if you got this here. You should get this here. It's a 4-page document.
No.
We got it when.
No, I didn't, I gave you.
No,
gave
she
you
didn't.
one?
I just brought it when I got
Okay.
this for today, but
I'll give you a copy.
we can get a copy, and you all should get a copy. That shows the, the budget, and then the operating reserve analysis and computation of what goes in and out of it, and how you end up with a deficit at the end of the year.
Mr. Chairman, do we have a analyst at DHCD that works with our particular?
Well, we do have a person that's assigned to here,
Yeah.
but I would say, because we're on television, I would say, and I've asked and I've indicated that the person is not the most useful, helpful to the authorities that's under her area. Even Jackie is with her short term being here, has been on the phone with her and showed her how to do things that she didn't know how to help supervise us do.
Would it be helpful to go up to DHCD and meet with them and get this subsidy nailed down, that we need to have this be right in their face?
Well, we've been communicating with them, and as you know, I've written some strong letters to them, and I think the push will come to shove shortly, and especially with Senator Pacheco on the case. And if we don't, I've asked for a meeting. I said, while you're on your way, Mr. Goldberg, down to the Narrow Conference to give your speech, and Senator Pacheco got the Legislator of the Year award down there, that it would be nice, I'd like them to come and visit us so we could have a little conference here and discuss how we can move forward. But the people at DHCD haven't responded. So, anything more to be said on the budgets, the financial statement discussion? Any more?
Well, can I just suggest that, I see the letter that we sent to Mr. Joy on May 13th, where we asked him to come to our meeting, and you asked him for this. And can we send him another letter immediately and tell him that we want him here for the June meeting?
Absolutely, yeah, for the June meeting to
If he's
discuss.
not available, perhaps we can adjust our schedule to,
Okay, when can he be available? Right, we'll make a special meeting for that. To talk about FY '13-14 and preparation for the '15 budget, and also an explanation of the budget preparation process. And we can also ask him, because he usually, I'll read you this letter here if I can get it quickly. This is a letter that was dated May 23rd, 2013. It was the end of the year, and it was written by the acting director of the Bureau of Housing Management in DHCD, in which she wrote to the then administrator here and said, this is talking about the subsidy for FY '13. Generally, there is a need, if there is a need for subsidy, we hear from the authorities fee account or from the authorities director or staff. We have not heard from WHA's fee account in, as far as I know, you have not raised a concern with DHCD before this week. Now, this is May 23rd of 13 for the FY13 budget. In the future, if there's a need, please contact Io Yakabu Awalawi or Kim Gomez or Courtney Curran or me. Signed, Chris DeVore. Now, I was on the phone with Chris DeVore last April of 13, and we had a very warm conversation in which the heat was coming out of my collar, and she knows me from many, many years. And we, and they, for FY13, again, I repeat, they got their subsidy, even though they didn't submit a proper budget for FY13. And here we are in 14 doing everything they asked for, everything right, and now they're holding us accountable for things they did, which is, and I've written to them in the meantime saying, what can we do? And then we get word from the junior level person who we shouldn't be dealing with, because I've also asked to get a new rep. But anyway, so we're dealing with that.
This is the letter that you wrote to Aaron Bornstein on the 29th? I don't know.
Oh, no, I wrote previous letters over the year, in conversations on the phone. And so did Ms. Kate Luna.
Mr. Bornstein didn't answer you?
No, neither has Sarah Waxman.
Sounds like in the old days,
Yeah, but they're
you'd get a
bureaucrats.
bus, you load it up with 200 people, and you would go out in front of,
Yeah,
and get the press,
yeah.
because ultimately, it's not gonna affect me or you,
We're doing it for the residents.
but it's gonna affect the residents. And that's what we're here for. I think we need to be a little more proactive. I really do. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not,
Oh, I think
No,
but
we've even,
Well, he's been trying every day.
we've even.
I know you've done it all.
We've even had letters from the residents, signed letters,
Yeah.
petitions, sent to the governor and sent to
we should
Aaron.
hire 2 buses,
But
3
we're
buses.
still not
I
getting
think
anywhere.
they, like Bob said, just so you know, speaking with DHCD, they are in transition. Even though it's May, you know.
But what gives them the right, I know that in politics, you've been in it,
Yeah,
what gives them the right to hold up,
well,
I know the N words, and
Let's just
I'm using it
move
from,
on. Yeah.
to hold up something that's gonna help our residents.
Well-
That's legally out, I
I
think.
don't know the answer to that. All I know is the Massachusetts legislature appropriated a budget for FY14 to DHCD that included $73 million for subsidies to so many housing authorities, and Wareham is in there for $75,000, and they're holding it.
my question is,
Yeah.
on this budget sheet,
Go ahead.
obviously the subsidy is not included anywhere in
Yeah.
any of these figures. Where is it included?
It's included in the 73 operating subsidy received dash earned
Just
envelope.
before net income deficit,
Of 72,335.
Yeah, that's.
72,330.
So under the current budget line where it says 54,251, what does that mean?
That's 9 months, if we got 9 months of accrued subsidy. The
We
next-
have an agreement that was signed by DHCD that they would give us 10-month, consecutive 10-month period, a subsidy per month. That's their agreement, their
It's a
agreement with us.
Contract for financial assistance, so the next
So
column
it should be,
shows,
that's what we should have received by now.
the next column shows current, and it's the blank, that means we've got nothing.
Right, I got that part.
That's the story, Morning Glory. So we did get 23,000 in April,
In
right?
April, but this is
So-
only through March 31st.
So
but
we've
yes.
got 23, they owe us 49,000.
So if we were to stay on track and add back our $72,000 altogether,
Yeah,
then we would not have a deficit. Even
no,
with
it would
70
still be,
No,
would
I'm
be
saying
at the 14.
on track with our current actuals, because the variance column over to the right.
Well, let me,
Okay.
let's,
Still a few months
let me
before they
explain
go out.
a couple of the other
I
issues.
understand that. Oh, I knew you did.
Let me explain. We have 3 issues that are not accounted for here, 4 issues. One, we have an emergency with our water situation this year, which we have not been, we are being refunded that from DHCD through emergency modification monies. We have an emergency sewer issue. Those bills have been paid out of our operating subsidy hoping to get back a refund, which would then offset some of the negative.
So those are.
Along with the unit
those are-
turnover.
Those are over and above what's here, because.
No, see, no, underneath the actuals here.
Yeah, I'm
I'm-
saying, they weren't in the budget, they're over and above the budget,
Right.
they're unforeseen, extraordinary, so they
So you're
would.
looking for reimbursements for those?
We're looking for the budget to be amended, so the subsidy can be amended, because if they were in there, if
No,
we put the costs in
right.
without the budget, that'd be worse.
Well, here, the cost is in there without the budget, you're right.
Right.
Right, but it wouldn't even, after
Go ahead.
speaking to Tom Joy, it would be better if we, in the modification fund, which we have, it would be better if we then, some of these expenses just got paid out of the mod fund.
Fine,
That way, we then,
it wouldn't affect the budget.
it would not affect our budget like it is now. Because we have some expenses in here that don't belong in our operating subsidy, they're over and above the budget,
Right.
just like Bob
So
said.
they either need to be counted as extraordinary or paid out of
So there are three
emergency
of them.
organization or
Right.
formula funding or whatever.
There's a $3,000 sewer issue, there's an $11,800 water issue, there's a $12,800 unit turnover fund. Those three funds. In addition to that, we have a $3,224 increase in our subsidies because of the winter that we had for snow plow removal.
So if we got our subsidy and if we got all these reimbursements, we'd be in good shape.
Well,
We'll be better shape.
we wouldn't be broke.
No, because we owe.
Right.
We wouldn't
owe-
have a 200,000 operating reserve like some places have.
Well, I don't expect
Well,
that
we
we would
would-
have that, but.
we do
Well,
also
only
have
100
a-
units.
We have a very big sewer bill that has to be paid. That has not been paid.
Well, they can't shut your sewer off.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyway,
That's
so,
it.
Okay, well, thank you for that
all right, so we do,
clarification.
we'll try to get
Because
the,
this sheet doesn't really say much
No,
of
it's only
anything about
half.
all of that information.
it's only half the picture, yeah. But anyway, did you get a copy of the full budget for FY14?
I did, Jackie gave me one when I
Okay.
came on board in February,
Yeah.
thank you, but Donna may not.
Donnie, you
have.
didn't get one, I'm so
All
sorry.
right,
I'll
so you
make
need
sure.
to compare, you need to keep the package as a group, that's why I brought mine with me, dug it out.
Okay, can I
But
make
I
one
only
more
got this today, so
clarification?
Yeah.
I couldn't make it part of the rest of my group.
In what DHCD is now looking for, there were 3 items they were looking for. Officially, I thought it was only 1. There were 2 other items that were not done in FY13. One is called a schedule of positions and compensation form. Basically, annually, they put out a request for the top 5 officials being paid out of Housing Authority. And basically, it tells you why, in response to past abuses, they
It's-
wanted
it's
to know.
response-
Because it's the way
It's all
you're
a response
funded.
to Chelsea.
Right.
It's all a response to Chelsea. After they did Chelsea, the US attorney and them advised them, you should get the board to sign in under penalties of payment.
And then the other one was a lead certification that's done each year at the budget time. And basically that certifies that during the year, if a unit is turned over, that the tenant understands about the lead notification law. So we have a tenant certification they sign, we give them tenant lead notification law, and we go on. But I just wanna make it known here. I mean,
Can I ask you a question? Why do you have to do the lead notification? Nobody under 6 years old lives here, do they?
doesn't matter.
They want it every
They
year.
want it every year. So
Really?
each new tenant, we have to do this blue paper.
Okay.
Okay, so, and it's, I mean, I called DHCD when I got on because I don't have an official lead test. I brought this to the board before. I don't have an official lead test. Anytime they touch our buildings, any money-wise, they do an environmental review and they were supposed to do a lead test. So somewhere, 20 years ago, or whenever they do these things, that they had done a lead test on these buildings. So I said to them, if you read the notification and what you want from me, I don't have a lead test to say to what I should say. They said it was just acknowledging that there isn't a lead. I said, can you find me our lead test in DHCD? They have not been able to. So I do what they asked me to do, but I also acknowledge that I'm not so comfortable with it, and they know that, so.
This building shouldn't have lead, it's after 72, isn't it?
It is in 72.
Oh, this
These,
building-
these
is
sections I'm
72?
not, yeah, they're not worried about here, I'm more worried about Agawam.
Agawam, yeah.
Just before we take a break, I've got a signal. There is other pages that need to be certified by the board besides these salary positions.
It's the
I didn't
lead, the
bring-
salary, and the budget. Those are the three they're looking for
I didn't bring
as
those-
of today.
I
They may
didn't-
pick something up for the
I didn't
past.
bring those pages with me from the budget, I just brought the
I
numbers
thought I
pages.
remember signing the lead thing last fall.
We did, for fiscal year 14.
Yeah, 14.
Oh, that was
Not
the fourth.
fiscal year.
So we signed a couple of items, but that's one of the reasons Donna Barrows, I'm sorry, Donna,
It's okay.
refused to sign because she had questions about the benefits and the total compensation the person was receiving, because there was nothing under the federal Section 8, even though there was money being paid to the person. So at this point, we'll take a brief recess while cable television reloads their camera. Our meeting of the Wareham Housing Authority dated May 21st.
Josephine,
Josephine,
Joe, you're on the camera.
do you want to? Should we go into executive session now?
I probably should do that at the end if there's anything
Yeah, I'm
else.
done. Yeah, can we sign the bills afterwards?
Yeah.
So at this point, I'd ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss the acquisition of property by roll call vote.
It's not on the agenda. We
Huh?
just,
No,
Jane's looking.
no, but on here it says, persons interested advise that in the event any matter taken before remains unfinished. No, what does it say? Also, if it so votes, the committee may go to executive session.
Is this an emergency? Because if it's not an emergency, then you have to post to the executive session, Bob.
We posted it on the bottom of the.
No, it has to be
agenda.
posted with an agenda, not just, we might go into executive session, unless it's an emergency. I have the open meeting law and the
What does
executive
it say? I
session.
got it here too, let me read here. All meetings of body must be open to the public. Certain topics may be discussed in executive or closed session. Before going to executive, the chair of the public body must first convene an open session, state the reason for the executive session, state whether the body will reconvene, and take a roll call vote during the session.
Is that the open meeting law?
Yeah. Open meeting law. Attorney General, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So it would be, like I said, to discuss a
Right,
potential
well, that's,
acquisition.
when can a public body meet, there's a,
Yeah, it doesn't say posted with an agenda or an item. Just like we always did, we said to take up collective bargaining or whatever. So it's always provides for the potential of an executive session. In any event,
Posting,
I'll
right?
err on the side of going into executive session. We're not gonna take any votes anyway.
okay, what's the purpose for the executive session?
To discuss potential acquisition of property.
Okay, which number is that of the 10, Bob?
Number 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease of real property, or if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on negotiation position of the public body. And it says the chair must state for the record that the open session may be detrimental to the public body's negotiating position. So with that, I'll call for a roll call vote to go into executive session. Bob Powell-Latis, aye.
Aye.
Rudy Santos, aye.
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 Donna Bronk, aye.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
I remember getting called out on not posting.
That's all right. If we get called out, we can always remedy it. So with that, we're in executive session. Bob, if you want to shut off your computer. Hello?
Is the body going to come back into general session for the purpose of the remainder of the meeting? For the policies, et cetera?
No, I was going to continue those for another meeting. We'll come up with another arrangement to deal with those, and just so not to come back to open.
Right, then you have to declare that we won't be coming back to open
Yeah,
session.
so I also declare that after the executive session, we won't be coming back into open session.
Do you want to take residents' participation with Joe,
No, we'll skip.
Ms. Chapman?
Does Ms. Chapman have something to communicate?
Josephine, did you have anything for the residents?
No, I spoke with you.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. So,
Is the table business tabled?
table is table. So with that,
So we are in
we're in
executive
executive session.
session,
Yeah.
and
We voted.
the camera is,
So no computer. You can go, we're all done. Thank you.
We're all set. Tell Josephine.